What's up, everyone? This is FP Sticks. I never thought I would say this, but I actually was able to reach #1 on the Go Battle League leaderboard, which is very exciting. I'm pretty sure I'm only going to be up there for a day. And what I have today in today's video is only one set of battles, so only 5 battles here, because it literally took me more than 24 hours just to play 5 battles because the queue times were so ridiculously long. So we only get one set today, but this was the set that actually pushed me to #1 in the world. I'm running with a team of Gengar, Lapras, and Machamp. My Gengar is running Shadow Punch and Shadow Ball. My Lapras was actually running Ice Shard, Surf, and Ice Beam at this point in time, and then Machamp has the standard moveset. So I'm very excited that I reached #1 in the world. I was very fortunate in the one set that I did to go very positive. I had 4 wins and 1 tie in this set. So let's kind of just jump right into the battle and commentate on what's happening here. These battles are in normal speed, so not sped up. Because again, I was only able to get one set in 24 hours. I kid you not. I kid you not. The queue times are that bad. So it's very, very difficult for me to output content, Go Battle League content for you guys of my own personal gameplay. So I hope you all can understand. Once you get in these really high ratings, you'll understand what I mean. There's just no one to be matched up with because there's not enough people in that rating range. But Gengar is a very powerful Pokemon in the Ultra League. He's actually rated pretty highly in the Premier Cup. These are Premier Cup battles, by the way. And so, as you can see, I'm going to go just for the Shadow Ball there. I really hate baiting in these matchups because an unshielded bait really does not feel good at all. And like worst case scenario, your move gets shielded, so you at least get a shield from the scenario. And I knew I had Lapras in the back, so I'm going to go for a pretty hefty farm down here. And my Lapras is not running Skull Bash during this set, so that means I'm going to lose all the mirror matches against opposing Lapras, so we just need to be aware of that. The Dragon Breath damage from Gyarados is going to chunk, but I know that Aqua Tail is not going to do that much. I want to leave this matchup with as much stored energy as possible. That's kind of the thought process that's going through my brain right now. And man, it's crazy how slow these battles look when they're in normal speed, right? Because we get so accustomed to looking at them in full speed. But it's all good. It's all good. This actually gives me enough time to fully walk through my thought process on each of these battles, which hopefully you guys will find very beneficial. So good game. This battle is up against the Asian Milkman. This battle is insane. This battle is insane. Okay, so I know it takes 4 Ice Shards to get to a Surf. I don't want my Gengar to have to tank a Surf. Lapras is going to get to Surf before I can get to a Shadow Ball. So what I'm going to try to do is catch a Surf on my own Lapras here. He's very smart. He holds on to his energy, and out comes Poliwrath. And because my Lapras does not have Skull Bash, I'm totally walled by this Poliwrath. But what you see me doing here is I'm building enough energy to bluff that I have Skull Bash. It takes 8 Ice Shards to get to a Skull Bash, which is also the equivalent amount of energy to 2 Surfs. So I'm building up to 2 Surfs. Now I'm going to throw the Surf. Surf and Ice Beam are around the same energy efficiency here. So I bait with Surf, and the reason I threw Surf is just in case he still doesn't know if I'm running Skull Bash, because most people run Surf and Skull Bash, so I don't want to reveal that I have Ice Beam yet. But at this point in time, I'm just trying to chip down this Poliwrath as much as possible. He definitely recognizes that I don't have Skull Bash, and I know that his Poliwrath is pretty heavily overfarmed on energy. So whatever I bring out into it, this is going to be kind of rough. I know that he still has Lapras in the back, and I really want to save my Machamp for that. Thank goodness my Gengar already has some loaded energy. This is just going to be an Ice Punch, and I know that Gengar is going to tank it. At this point in time, I'm just going to give both shields to Machamp probably, and see how much work Machamp can do. So I'm overfarming a bunch. My Gengar is pretty much almost capped at 100 energy right now. So when that Lapras comes in, I know it has a Surf loaded, and I know it's going to throw energy very quickly. I'm even able to Shadow Claw down the Poliwrath, really good for me. Out comes Lapras, immediately throws the Surf, and I'm actually going to, okay, I'm going to shield this up. Questionable play, because at this point it might have been smarter to just save the shields from Machamp. I'm just going to go straight for the Shadow Ball nuke. Both shields are up, so I'm anticipating that he thinks that I'm going to bait to try to burn his shield. I'm able to land the Shadow Ball, and that is huge. I'm going to bring in Machamp right now. In the back is Escavalier. Machamp is down a shield, but this is still a pretty decent matchup for Machamp. I'm just going to go straight cross chop here. I think I almost built up to Rock Slide energy on the first move. I will get a shield there, and I know that no matter what I throw at this Escavalier, it's going to be getting shields. Because Machamp is going to have such a favorable matchup against that Lapras. I obviously have to shield up the Drill Run. Over farming here a little bit more. Now going to throw the cross chop, and I'm really hoping that I'm going to be able to get to one more cross chop. I need these shields gone. Barely doesn't KO the Escavalier, but I'm able to counter it down. I'm one counter away from another cross chop. I'm able to get there. I throw the cross chop right here. At this point, if I fail the sack swap on Gengar, it's totally over. It's totally over because he'll just farm me down. So that's why you saw me not try to switch into Gengar, because if I failed it, I for sure would have lost. And then this way, I'm just hoping that Gengar has enough health to Shadow Claw down. There's the tie. There's the tie. That was an insane match. Very good game. The Asian Milkman, very good game. Gengar into Electivire, Shadow Electivire. I know that Ice Punch is going to do a good amount of damage. Electivire is pretty glassy, outputs a lot of damage, and it's going to get to Ice Punch very quickly, running Thunder Shock as the fast move as well. I'm assuming that they are also running Wild Charge, and because Electivire is so glassy, there's no sense in me building up to a Shadow Ball here, because look how much damage just a Shadow Punch does. Even if this is an Ice Punch, I kind of want to preserve health on my Gengar, and Lapras really does not want to see that Electivire. This is the dream scenario. I love running counter users in the back really has a lot of play. Really has a lot of play because a lot of people like to use Snorlax or Lapras as their safe swap, and so this allows your counter user to get switch locked against that Pokemon. You can leave this matchup with stored up energy. Unfortunately, Machamp does not resist the Ice Shards or resist the Surfs like Poliwrath does, but I love that Machamp has access to counter. It's a fast move. It offers you way more fast move damage and farm down potential, as well as cross chop, which is a very inexpensive energy cost charge move and hits for a decent amount of damage. I'm able to counter down the Lapras. That's amazing. I didn't have to use a shield on my Machamp. The Lapras was very close to a Surf though. Out comes Escavalier. It is going to be able to counter me down. Oh, huge misplay. I should have thrown something. I was hoping that I was going to be able to get to the Rock Slide, but that did not happen. Wow, that was a really bad misplay right there. I have to shield this up. It's going to be a Drill Run, and I don't want my Lapras to be aligned to this Escavalier. So at this point, Gengar has a lot of stored energy. Out comes the Electivire again. I'm just going to throw the Shadow Punch here. I'm really glad that I'm getting the Electivire out of the way, but my Lapras has a lot of work to do. Thank goodness they let that go. And at this point, the Shadow Claw damage is really adding up on this Escavalier. I stored up a Shadow Punch because I know that Gengar will win CMP against Escavalier. And now my Lapras just needs to burn the last shield because this Escavalier is already in Shadow Punch range. All I need to do is burn this last shield and the game is mine because I stored that energy on Gengar and I know that I will win the CMP tie. Escavalier is going to farm me down. That's for sure the play. But Lapras is so bulky. I think I'm barely going to be able to get to this Surf. Yep, their only play was to farm me down, and even then they wouldn't have won because I stored the energy on Gengar, which clutched this victory here. Good game. Good game there. Yeah, I kind of like these battles at this speed, at least when we're talking about high level gameplay. I'm able to explain all my thoughts in enough time. This is great. This is a solid matchup for Gengar. Out comes Poliwrath, which is still a decent matchup for Gengar. So I'm going to stay in here and just go straight for the Shadow Ball. I can't really bring Lapras into this because Poliwrath is a hard wall to that, but I don't really have a solid answer to the Venusaur, so I'm just going to bring out my Machamp, probably commit no shields, and then farm this down, and hopefully land a Rock Slide on the Venusaur. My Gengar is still very healthy. They went for an Ice Punch trying to bait me, and then this is just going to be another Ice Punch, so no need to shield this. Even if it was a Dynamic Punch, Machamp I think would barely survive at that health, and I want minimal health for that Venusaur to farm. I now have a Cross Chop loaded. I anticipate Venusaur coming out. It does resist the counter damage. Over farming a little bit here because I knew that Venusaur had no energy. This Rock Slide is going to hit for a decent amount of damage. Definitely going to hit for a decent amount of damage. I get a shield there, which is really great. I know that my Gengar is still out of energy, which is unfortunate. I'm able to get to another Rock Slide. Man, Machamp has decent bulk in Ultra League. It's nowhere near as frail as it is in Great League. That Rock Slide does a nice chunk of damage for sure, but this Venusaur is very loaded on energy, and even though these Frenzy Plants are resisted, it's still going to do a solid chunk to Gengar. You'll see just how much this does. Like 50%? Yikes, dude. That's not great. They have their own Lapras in the back, and so I store up a Shadow Ball, and then I switch out. But as you're going to see, again, my Lapras is not running Skull Bash, so this is a very tough situation if my opponent has Skull Bash, but they don't have Skull Bash either, or if they do, they baited me with Surf, so I'm going to build up the Skull Bash energy to try to fake them out, see if I can get this last shield. Gonna throw the Surf now. It looked like this was a CMP tie, and my Lapras has pretty horrible IVs, so I do win that CMP tie. I don't get the shield, they call my bluff. And at this point, I'm assuming that they know that I don't have Skull Bash, and we both kind of, we're both kind of looking at each other and being like, I know that you don't have Skull Bash, and we're just going to surf each other into oblivion here. But I want to keep as much loaded energy as possible. I'm even able to get in an extra Ice Shard there because I know the Venusaur is going to be coming out, and if I can land a charge move on the Venusaur, that's going to be really good. In the back of my mind, I'm always aware that I have a Shadow Ball stored on the Gengar, so if I can just get this last shield off the field, Gengar is going to sweep. Shadow Ball is such a heavy hitting move in Ultra League. Always building up extra energy here. I'm trying to throw my opponent off on how much energy I have stored right now. I have 90 energy right now. Each Ice Shard gives you 10 energy. And as you can see, I had double Surf, which is 80 energy, plus one more is 90. But they are still not shielding. I need this last shield gone. I think I shield up right here. Because I just want to preserve the health on my Lapras here. It doesn't really matter. I know they're going to have to shield at some point, and when they do, I'm just going to come in and drop the nuke with Gengar. So this is kind of just long and drawn out here. The only way that I lose this is if I like switch into Gengar while they're throwing a move and I like misclick the charge move. So I'm just trying to play this very methodically, just taking it easy. I know my win condition. I can just let my Lapras go down and then click the Shadow Punch at this range and it'll take it out. I might even aggressive swap right now and throw the Shadow Punch, because I know it's like we're about to time out here, man. Oh, just going to go for the Shadow Ball, and this is for sure going to KO. As you can see, one more Ice Shard would have taken out my Gengar, so a little scary, but the Shadow Ball is able to take out the Lapras. Good game there. Alright, final game in this set is up against Philly Dog. Gengar into Machamp. Very good lead for me. Triple resist the counters. They swap into their own Gengar. So I'm going to immediately switch into my Lapras here. I could have maybe thrown a Shadow Punch on the Gengar, but honestly, I just didn't want this Gengar to start running away with a huge energy advantage here. I know they have Machamp in the back. Ideally, I want to keep my Gengar aligned to that, but if the Machamp is able to come in and farm down my Lapras, it's going to be able to threaten me with Rock Slides, which Gengar is really not going to appreciate. I can survive a Shadow Ball at this range. It looks like they're running Sludge Bomb, so I actually will shield that first one up. I'm getting the Gengar almost in Surf range. That's like barely Surf range. Unfortunately, going to lose the CMP tie here again, but I know it's just Sludge Bomb, which hits less than Shadow Ball. I can tank it. I want to have minimal health for the Machamp to farm. I think I'd go for an undercharge here. Yes, slight undercharge, but it was still too much. I wanted to be able to farm down that Gengar a little bit, because now the Machamp, as you can see, is farming me down. I would have been able to get to that surf if I would have had a better undercharge. This is not good. Rock Slide's going to do so much damage, and I think I want to preserve the health of my Gengar here. I'm wondering what they could have in the back. I still have my Machamp. It's a Snorlax. This is the dream scenario. My Gengar gets to avoid the Snorlax. If this Snorlax is able to get to a Skull Bash, that's really not good. But I'm assuming that they're just going to go straight Body Slam. I'm down a shield. I hit the Excellent. Get the final shield. These counters plus the cross chop damage should be just enough to take out the Snorlax. I anticipate getting hit by 2 Body Slams though. Oh man. I'm barely able to get there. Snorlax was very close to a Body Slam. And I'm able to hit the Excellent. That's good. Barely is not enough to take out the Snorlax, but that's okay. I think this Body Slam barely doesn't take me out, and then he licks down. Okay, it does take me out, but it's alright. I Shadow Claw down with Gengar, and then I'm going to Shadow Ball the Pokemon in the back. Good game. Gengar wins all the CMPs. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm trying to get you Go Battle League content from my battles, but please understand, it literally takes me more than 24 hours to complete a set. Just put that in perspective. Alright, so you might be seeing some other people's battles on the channel as well. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.